what up, everybody? It's your boy Almaga. Welcome to a brand new Comic podcast. And today I'm proud to introduce two fellow Crusaders that are on a mission right now. They're about to do something awesome. I see them behind their nervous wrecks. They're like cleaning their foreheads in nervousness in the launch of what will be the most chart-topping project that IndieGoGo has ever seen. They introduced the big man himself behind the project first that put together an amazing team. He's a world-class vet. Thank you for your service, sir. He's also an author, book creator, and a publisher. My gosh, and he also does and hosts a movie-based vidcast podcast. Guys, this guy's so much stuff. How did he wind up doing this project? We'll find out. The one, the only, the future legend in the making, Mr. David Nemesis Howard. Woo!
Woo-hoo. Hey, man,
So,
thanks for the
how you
intro.
doing?
I'm also a Latin lover, so, here I am.
and a ballroom dancer,
That's right.
And talking about dancing and me bringing the baddest break dancer of his day. He is also a filmmaker, film critic. He is an interviewer. He's also a co-host on several programs. He's a comic book reviewer as well. The one, the only, the ever flossy, Mr. Bracey. How you doing, bro?
I had to dap it
bro.
out for a second.
He got the dope moves, bro. How you doing?
I'm good. I'd also like to mention that
Yep.
Nema there is also an excellent D&D player and GM. Please follow our adventures, the Fellowship of the D20.
Yeah.
This guy does not sleep, apparently. Guys, let me talk to you right here, because today is a very special day, apparently. Very special day. So, Nem, I want you to get on with it. Let me know, what is this day today? What special?
Today is culmination of a lot of people's vision. I got such a talented team of writers and artists that are working with me on this project. And I've got my faithful writer / artist / art director over there in the top right corner, Jeff Bracey. And we've been working on this for a while to get everything together. We created a company, we incorporated, we've done it all. And today, Raincross Press, our baby, is launching its baby, our first title, BloodWorld #1. The campaign, it's arrived today. We're launching it today on this show. So,
what? Oh, snap! Today, how do you guys feel about launching this baby? So I'll start with you, Name, and then give it over to Bracey about feeling of the launch.
Oh man, it's a lot of relief. It's more stress, but it's good stress because, hey, we're letting our baby out into the world. At least a preview of our baby. And when this gets funded, then we're going to finish this up and really let it go. And that will lead into bigger and better things, man. It is so exciting. It's been so cool to see this come to life, and it's just going to keep building and growing. And I'm so proud of everybody involved. It's been a lot of work, but you know what? It's times like this that make it all worth it, and it's just going to keep growing, man. And man, it's like giving birth to a kid. Well, I've never given birth to a kid, but I've had my wife give birth to our children. So,
minus the physical pain.
Yeah. The only physical pain was involved was that my wife grabbed me and was like, "Give me drugs," So.
Okay. I hope your hands are okay. Basically, what about you, bro? How do you feel about this day?
It's like one of those Russian nesting dolls. Like everybody keeps saying, "Baby, it's like a baby inside a baby inside a baby inside a baby." It just keeps going like that. Yeah, I'm incredibly excited to be a part of this. It's crazy how this all just started from us hanging out online and constantly pitching various story ideas to each other, and then that just sparked and snowballed. The next thing you know, here we are rolling together downhill, gaining steam and momentum. And Nim's the world that he created was so interesting. Everybody just kept exploding with all these ideas. Like, oh man, if I was in this world, like I would do this. Well, if I had a little corner of this world, I would do this. And like, well, why don't we just all do it together? and it just kept getting crazier and crazier. Like, everybody's got really cool ideas, and of course, Nim over here is like the grand overseer. He's the Kevin Feige. So like, this works in the world, this doesn't. Like rein in a little bit, but like most of all, he's really let us just kind of launch off and experiment and explore, and it's fun to see how like all of this is entangled and integrated with things, and like we're also excited. Like me and Nim have talked about like having stories for this. If we're doing this as because we do want to like take this anthology and eventually break it down into like individual segments and trades out of the individual issues. And we've got ideas for stories that go 5 years out. If the people respond and they continue to fund us and give us love and support, we have years of story for you. We just need your help getting it out there. It's like, join us on this grand adventure in the 26th century.
Absolutely.
But we want to do, when are we doing this launch, bro? That's what I'm excited to see. I never actually seen a live launch, bro.
I'm ready to push the button right now. So whenever you're ready,
are you ready?
Yeah,
Let's
I'm ready.
Go ahead. Bring it on screen, kiddo. Bring it on screen and hit that button.
Well,
folks,
it
check
looks
this
boring.
out. Oh my
but
gosh.
We're going to do it right now. We've already reviewed it. I'm going to press the launch button. Oh, wait.
Almost ready.
Oh, no.
What
do I need to do? Please review required information for team. All right. Why don't I take this off and you talk to Jeff there for a second? I'll see what they're talking about here. So,
don't you
of course, it had to
all
go.
right.
Technology, can't live with it, can't live without it. I am like I'm so technophobic, but what does that say?
All right, I know what happened. This is a first, man. This is a first time I have launched
anything
campaign, anything. I have obviously worked with
well, you have the promo video alone by itself that you could put up at least.
Yeah. I have worked on campaigns before for as far as like launching not a campaign but launching a comic book, with ASAP and stuff like that. But this is a first for me, so this is a big deal. So let's try this one more time.
People, give them a look as well. They're wonderful people putting out really wonderful products.
Oh,
absolutely.
ASAP becoming it with their leader, the mighty Hades.
And I have to say, this man right here who's sitting down below us, Almega, and then Paul Hayden of ASAP Imagination, and then my lovely woman, my lady who's at work right now, are the three people most responsible for Raincross becoming a reality. So, and that's led to all this. So I got to give a shout out and all the love to all of you, because it takes a lot to put yourself out there like this and do this kind of work. And so you need somebody, some good support to give you that little confidence and sometimes that little kick in the butt that you need to do it, and not be a Tom Holland and ruin everything, so I'm getting over that as well. So, all right, let's see if this works now. Here we go. It just needed a email address. So let's do this.
No.
What?
But it wants your blood.
Yeah, it does want my blood. Primary contact. Boom, boom, boom. All right.
It wants your blood.
Well, you guys keep talking. Of course.
All right, so let me, while Nim's figuring that out, let me give you a little bit of what I know of the world. Of course, he is the originator of the main universe. Knows all the deets. I've put together my little corner of things with his oversight, as have we all. But basically, the world of the future, the world of BloodWorld, takes place in the 26th century, where man has largely left the Earth and has colonized our solar system. And there's different empires and monarchies and kingdoms set up on habitable moons around planets like Jupiter and Saturn and whatnot. And one faction that actually kind of figured out how to get FTL, or faster than light drive, going, and they kind of blipped out outside of our solar system. And that's the story that Steve Shadewing Sellers is working on. The first envoy from that particular empire is making its way back, and they become a very sort of a theocratic empire, and this is his story is almost like a Mandalorian sort of thing. It's a little bit of the Witchfinder General, where this guy is like this techno knight, and he's coming back, and he's hunting what they call witches, which for them are psychics. And so he ends up in this border town in the asteroid belt, and that's sort of where the Inquisitor comes from. If you look at like the little picture over here, that's actually the two of the main characters. That's Kate, and that's the Inquisitor there in the armor.
Okay.
And for my story, I wanted to do something very Conan-esque, and as I started developing the story, it evolved. So when Nim was telling me that the Earth has become like this kind of backwater, as our last president used to call some of these places, like a shithole. So like it's like this. Nobody wants to go to Earth. Earth sucks. You know, it's been ruined environmentally. It's been ruined by wars and all those things. And so there's so much radiation, and it's caused a great deal of mutations. The Earth has lost a great deal of its surface moisture. So it's flipped from like 70% water to 70% landmass, which has caused remnants of people to kind of travel and mingle. And the remnants of like the greater technology and humanity lives in these 10-mile high cities called spires. But outside of that, you've got people who don't want any of that. They want to live their own way, and they're doing it the best they can. And there's also a lot of mutants, mutant peoples and mutant creatures and plants that are all carnivorous and dangerous. And my story deals with a mutant character called Fellhand, this 3-armed mutant who has found this piece of forbidden technology called the Singularity Blade. But he calls it the God Slayer because it's this sword that basically opens up a window into a black hole, so it can kind of eat anything it hits. And so there's this interplay between like what's going on in the spires and what's going on the ground.
So really,
Mike, go ahead.
Yeah, really. I mean, we set you down in the year 2587, and we'll give you the history a little bit of the time, and we plan on unveiling that history on our website and through various sneak peeks and snapshots into what's been going on and how humanity has got to this point. But we're pretty much still contained in our solar system. There are some people that have gotten outside the solar system, but this is letting you see what's going on. And really, I think the best way you could explain it is if you took BloodWorld and broke it apart, it would be 1 part Dune, 1 part Gattaca, 1 part Game of Thrones, with a little bit of Mad Max and Thundar the Barbarian thrown in there for good measure.
And a bit of Blade Runner, touch of Blade Runner too.
Yeah.
We got some neo sci-fi noir going on as well.
Yeah. So, people are living their lives all over our solar system. And it's going to be a lot about how those lives are going to intertwine, what they're doing. Some people are living lives just to survive, while some people are involved at very high levels and are playing for lack of, don't sue me, HBO or George R.R. Martin, but they're playing the Game of Thrones for real, so they're out there, but they're playing it in the year 2587. So let's try this one more time. Evidently, I had put CA for California, and it wanted me to spell out the word California. So
it doesn't know what CA means.
Oh, yeah.
It could mean callously acting.
Keep your fingers crossed that it's just going to work. Here we go.
Let's go.
Whoa, here we go. Launch campaign. Boom!
Oh!
We are live.
Woo!
There it is.
Oh my God.
Open this bad boy up now.
Real time.
Let's see.
Oh. So we are now live. The campaign is now live, and we can go and click on it. Bam, there it is. The BloodWorld campaign is live. God. It is up and going right now. And I'm going to send Al the link for that in the private chat. Right?
Yeah, let's go. We gotta roll through that. Just about, talking about rolling, you know what I mean?
There it is. Bam.
There we go. Oh my gosh.
So the BloodWorld campaign is live. Woohoo! Drink them, smoke them if you got them. So
I'm about to roll mine then. That's what I'm about to do. Don't you worry, now. I'll spray over here for you. I'll get it done. Use the smoke signals all the way in CA.
So that is some crazy stuff, but we are now live and you can see it there. We got our story. We got our various tiers. And we can get into all this. You know, we got merch for sale. We got digital tiers. We got physical tiers. We got the whole thing, man. We're selling pint glasses and sticker packs and prints and the whole kit and caboodle. So,
Bam.
Man,
we gotta
do this. This is what we gotta do right now. Let's play that video real quick right here. Let's play that wonderful, sexy video.
All right, let me go ahead and play that.
I got you.
Go
live. You got me? All right, go for it.
Yeah, I just hacked the computer now.
All right.
Remember to write out California.
It has definitely arrived. See Bracey and Fashion Week, I think.
I do watch a lot of Project Runway with my wife.
Shows right there, but good one. Look at that team, my gosh. Damn, you built an army here, 14. They probably would have been, definitely would have played better than San Fran.
Yeah. It's I guess I didn't go in halfway. We bit off a lot, but I'm very proud of everybody who has put in the hard work and come together, and these are people from all over the world too, I have to say. Mm-hmm. So it's been really cool.
But yeah, it's a team. Look at that, folks.
It's 6 stories, 80 pages of anthology with some extra inserted material.
It's actually yeah.
There was my boy.
The campaign has arrived, baby. Woo! Look at that. My God.
All from Raincross Press. So
look at this. Welcome. Who's Raincross and what is BloodWorld? You get all that business. They got another video. I mean, look at this artistry. Talk about this page right here. What's popping? Let's start introducing to this beautiful world.
So this right here, this is from the story Descent, written by Mike Nunnally. And the artist on this is Brian Wilson. And he has just been an incredible find. This is a guy who worked in webcomics before, and he's still working on his own webcomics, but he is a really incredibly talented artist. He's out of the Pacific Northwest, lives in the Seattle region. And man, this guy deserves more work.
Woo! You got your first back.
Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, this guy deserves more work in the comic industry. I mean, this is what it's all about. I want to be successful as a company, and I want to be successful at this, but I also want people to be successful and go on to bigger and better things, and still work with us, but, work in this industry. And I think this guy is just an incredible talent. He's also the cover artist for our main cover. So that great cover that we have, he did that. So, just really, really talented guy. And he is doing the work on Descent. So, yeah, just amazing. And the story is pretty amazing as well. So Mike Nunnally's story takes place in S3, Soul Scientific Symposium. And it's a Blade Runner-esque murder mystery, in one of these cities.
Murder mysteries.
Yeah. So very cool.
Man. One of the most exciting
more murders pop up lately.
I'll tell you, one of the most exciting things about this project has not just been getting together with all these incredible writers who I got to know through Comic Crusaders. So thank you again for that, Al. But to finding all these amazing artists and getting to share all this talent that was just kind of flying under the radar with the world. Like these people, as these writers and these artists, I really honestly feel like they deserve so much more attention. Like, I'm so impressed. I oversee all the artwork. I read everybody's scripts and things, and we all share these plot points and story ideals, and it just like it's so incredible to see all this coming together. It's like, I cannot wait for people to see this.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just it's crazy. It's like, when you write this stuff, you have a vision in your head, and then to see it come to life, and then this right here, I'm gonna let Jeff explain this in a second, but I gotta talk a little bit about this. This is not only a very cool image. This image is available, one of the 3 featured images we made available in canvas and metal prints as an add-on to our tiers when you back the campaign. And this thing is sexy as hell, And so Jeff designed this character, Fellhand, who I'm going to let him introduce. But I love this image, and so we had to put this on some prints to make available to everyone to buy as well. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jeff and let him explain Fellhand a little bit. So
Fellhand.
Yeah. I got the idea of like I said, I wanted to do this sort of Conan-esque story. I was a big fan of like John Buscema's run on Conan the Barbarian when that was licensed property for Marvel Comics. So that was a big influence. And but I wanted to do something a little bit different. If I had this world full of mutants, I thought it'd be kind of fun to have a character who is a little asymmetrical, hence the 3 arms. And if you look very carefully, you can see a scar that shows that he used to have a 4th arm down there, and he lost it somewhere along the way. But he's already dealing with some things. So like even his body is already starting to tell you a story as you take a look at him. And here's one of the monstrous mutants of the land, a horrific creature called a prophecy bear. Creatures that are consumed by madness because they have a rare psychic ability that allows them to see into the future. And while they're trying to kill you, they are prophesying to you. So it gets to be kind of a physical and a psychic assault all at the same time. And there, of course, is the legendary Singularity Blade, which Fellhand rightly names the God Slayer because it just has the ability to kill anything if he can manage to hit something with it, which is not always a certain thing in this very, very dangerous world. I'm very excited to be working on this.
Wait, you telling me he has like the stormtrooper type aim?
Well, it's a dangerous world, man, and he doesn't have the Force, although some other people in the world do have the Force. There are people with psychic powers out there. Some people throwing around with the telepathy and the telekinesis and other things like that. But it's going to be a crazy fun ride, and I'm exploring new techniques in art that I've never used in my comic book illustrations before. So I'm very excited to present this to folks.
Well, yeah, it is really cool. And not only that, Jeff, I have to give a shout out to Jeff. I mean, Jeff has been tireless. He's done a bunch of the original concept art, including drawing the Queen that's up there in the top right corner, the original concept art for her, which is from one of my stories. And he also is taking on a second story to draw, and he's working with another Comic Crusader alumnus, David Taylor II, and doing his story as well. So Into the Bloodlands. So he's drawing that, and so he is really put in a ton of hard work, and he really is my partner in this project. He's a large part of this team as well as everybody else. But as art director, he has really stepped up, and he is my right hand man in helping this get going and everything. So
look at the bromance here just bloom.
I mean, it's not even something I was looking to doing. I'm just like, David's world has so fired me up that whenever I saw like a gap that needed filling, I just jumped in there. And he's like, "Hey man, don't take on too much." Like, no, it's cool. I don't need sleep either. It's fine. I'll manage. And just keep jumping.
Yeah, man.
On.
Once you're old, you gotta stay awake as much as you can to absorb. We don't have much time left.
Hey, it's crazy. And as we're speaking, I just got new art in from one of our other artists. So it's like we're getting art in all the time and everything. So yeah, one of our artists.
What's going on this page? What's this?
So this is a story that I call Blood Wraith, and this is drawn by Charles Adesami's crew out of South Africa, which is Sammy Crown Studios. And this whole story, it also takes place around a group based in S3, but Blood Race are basically the assassins and espionage covert agents for the Soul Scientific Symposium. And the whole thing about the Soul Scientific Symposium is that they have evolved humanity through manipulating DNA, our genetic code.
Okay.
And certain people are able to manipulate their genetic code so much that they can real time change their bodies to grow any weapon, to change the physical, how their body is made up, to grow armor, to be able to survive re-entry into a planet from 250 miles up. They just change their bodies that way. But every time they do this, there's a chance that they'll damage their genetic code. And eventually, they'll end up dying from doing this. And so that's who the Blood Race are. And this whole story is centered around one particular agent and his story. And we're going to come to find out how he fits into S3 society and what the big secret that is behind the Blood Race and the formation of the Blood Race and how that fits into a larger plot line going forward. And because I don't Tom Holland things anymore, I'm not giving you any more than that. So, but yeah, it's really cool. Some really cool visuals, some really cool effects. Yeah, it is. It's a lot of espionage, a lot of mystery, and a lot of cool sci-fi action. So looking forward to it.
And that's one of the great
Yeah,
things about the stories here is like we have like these very clearly defined factions going on, from people who have this cybernetic monarchy to other people who control things through genetic manipulation of the population, and that equates to your status within there. Like, of course, in my story, we have all the mutants, the various types of mutants trying to survive and thrive in this very tribalistic warfare sort of deal, somewhere between like Native Americans and Vikings kind of mixed together. And then you have stories like DT's and Mike's, where it's just people trying to live in whatever environment they happen to be in and survive, what's going on in their particular pocket of the universe here.
Yeah, so I mean, and as Jeff kind of alluded to already, I mean, really what this was originally a world that I had created, and I'm one of those anal people who likes to, before I start a writing project, especially if it's something that I've created from scratch, I like to write the history. I like to write, little biographies, even write little stories sometime that really get me into the headspace of the world. And so originally this was going to be a sci-fi novel that I was going to write on my own. And I wrote 50, 60 pages of history. It came up with the technology and all this other stuff. And then I looked at it, and I was already doing another novel series. And then I was doing a comic book series for ASAP. And I was like, this is really big. And I think it deserves more than what I could give it right now. And I kind of mentioned it to some folks, Steve and DT and Jeff, and because we do Sloppy Spoilers together. And then they got really excited about this. We started kicking around ideas, and I was like, I could add your ideas into this world, and they fit perfectly. And they're like, yeah. And then I was like, well, what can we do with this? And then eventually it just morphed into this whole thing. And Mike Nunnally came on, and it really fit well together. And then that's when I started looking. I was like, this deserves the 2000 AD treatment. And 2000 AD is not something, or heavy metal, that a lot of people are familiar with in the United States. Some people who are really into sci-fi and UK comics know about it, but this is something we don't have here. And so in the US, we don't have a US version of 2000 AD, and we're a long ways from that, but that's the plan. I mean, that's the brass ring that I want to reach for. I want this to be 2000 AD.
The last time we had anything close to this was way back in the 80s, was with Marvel's Epic line, where they were trying to pick up what heavy metal was putting down. And it's a shame it didn't last, because they had some really good stuff. And as you know, Al, we're here in America, and so the comics market is mainly oversaturated by superhero books. And books that aren't superhero books usually don't get quite as much attention, but we would really like to change that, because we're putting out the highest quality stories and art with themes that adults can get into and get behind. This isn't like a kid's book, but it's still fun for like teenagers on up. But we really want to like dig deep and give people something meaty to read as well as to like visually digest.
Absolutely. I mean, I remember reading heavy metal and then watching the heavy metal movie as a kid, and then and 2000 AD was the same way. And then eventually I got into Titan from France, so those things are out there, and those kind of stories I think we could tell as well. And eventually, who knows, maybe we'll get into manga as well, and do some manga with this. So, the sky's the limit. But right now, BloodWorld #1 is launching, and it really is a 2000 AD type book. And I see you got the picture up there. And one of the things, and when we scroll down lower, you're going to see those covers in more detail. But one of the things I love about the indie comics community is everybody is a true community, and a number of different creators. So these are a part of our indie comics pack. So with every order, digital order, you will get one free book from each line there. So you can select 3 free digital comic books. So for $10, get this, $10, you will get 80 plus pages of BloodWorld digitally and 3 free indie books for $10. So that is over 140 pages of content for $10. I don't think you can find a deal that doesn't top that on the book.
And that's $2.50 a book, $2.50 a book. DC talking about holding the line. You went below the line, baby. On this,
and we know that everybody out there. I mean, let's be honest. Times are a little tight right now. Money's a little tight, and you all.
Everybody's got $10 though.
Yeah, we want to give back to you. So
do you take crypto?
I mean, $10. We want you to get value for your money, and these creators right here all donated their books to help us out. So I got to give them all the credit in the world. And then if you go a little bit lower, if you scroll down a little bit lower,
that's what she said, boy. Family show.
Yeah, so if you scroll down a little bit lower,
look at these.
We've got another tier. So for $13, check this deal out. So I thought the $10 deal was good. For $13, you'll get everything that I talked about before. So you'll get 80 plus pages of content in BloodWorld. You'll get 3 free of those indie books from indie creators. And then we call our $13 tier the featured writers tier. All of these books here are #1s written by people who wrote for BloodWorld. So, and Paul Hayden has generously, because I wrote mine for ASAP, has allowed me to include OPSEC #1 here. So you will get not 1, not 2, you'll get all of these books. All of them. So for $13,
all of them,
you will get BloodWorld, 80 plus pages of content, and 10 free digital comics. 10 for $13.
Jeez.
And many of these books being shown right here have follow-up issues, some of them into series. So we hope that we can share our love with these creators who have been so generous that you will be encouraged to purchase their other digital purchase or physical purchases after you get to read this sample of what they've got out there, because they're all amazing people, like just terrific stories and terrific art.
And I got to give a shout out. So Mike Nunnally and Steve Sellers are both involved with Omen Comics and Revelation Comics. So they donated Blitz, Satyr, Michael Nero, and then Dragon Girl Albino Warrior. Then Paul Hayden over at ASAP allowed us to include OPSEC #1. And then if you go down a little bit, you have Mr. Happy from our own Mr. Jeff Bracey there. And then a little bit further down, if you scroll down, you have the Nephilim Wars, which was written by DT, David Taylor II. So all our featured writers, we've thrown in these books as well. And I have to thank them so much. I have to thank Mike Nunnally. This was his idea. And I was like, wow, that's a great idea. Think people go for it. And man, the generosity of the people up above who donated, and then the people involved here who donated, and all of this to help us get another indie comic title off the ground, which is BloodWorld, and that's what being part of a community is really about. Because let's be honest, you wouldn't see most of the time, DC helping out Marvel in this way, or Marvel helping out DC, or vice versa, or them helping out Source Point or anybody else like that. It just doesn't happen, you know. And so this is because these people not only support other independent creators and they want to grow the indie community, they support good storytelling, and I think it's because they're confident in their own product as well, you know, because their own product stands alone and it deserves supporting, you know. So
yeah, we're not just competitors of each other, and we're not even just indie comic creators who are, you know, who appreciate each other's work. We're also fans of each other's work.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, we want to show all these comics because they are really great comics, and we hope that you'll check these folks out as well as our campaign.
Yeah, and let's be honest. I mean, we're competitors in the sense that we all want to do well, but we're not competitors in the sense that I'm going to tear and cut somebody's throat to help them, because we want to grow this thing that we have together. You know, this thing of ours. You know, we'll do it a little Cosa Nostra style.
It may be called BloodWorld, but they ain't trying to get at each other's blood. All right, folks.
Yeah.
And
this is a familyhood.
Yes.
That's
So
right.
Talk about this right here. But everybody, y'all been digital, but you know, I appreciate digital for what it is. You know, any way to read and not put fingerprints on your favorite physical copies. You know, because I'm a physical man, baby, and I'm so happy you offer a physical version of this. So talk about this. What am I getting when I get the physical copy? What is it, a hardcover, soft cover? What type of paper we talking? What's popping? Pimp this book, baby.
All right. Well, this is called Fellhand's Chosen Pack, you know, and I tried to give each pack a little bit of flavor, but Fellhand's Chosen Pack for $35, you get everything that is in the digital tier. So you're going to get a digital copy. You're going to get to choose 3 free indie titles as well. You get to choose all that, but then you're going to get a physical copy of the book. So the book is going to be on glossy paper, because I've always been a fan of that, you know, that 90s style glossy paper. There's nothing, doesn't take anything away from newsprint, but I like that glossy look. And the way our art has been done, I think it's going to look better on glossy paper. And then, yeah, the book is going to be bound, perfect binding. So it's going to be a square binding with, you know, glue and everything. So it's going to be like a traditional trade, because it's 80 pages. So I didn't want to give you a staple and have it falling apart, because it's a big book. You know, so we're giving you a perfect bound book with a cardstock cover. So
nice.
You know, so you're going to get a cardstock cover, glossy on the inside, glossy cover on the front. You know, one of the stretch goals we may end up doing, there's a couple, and we could talk about those a little bit if you want, but one of the things we may do, you know, if we hit a stretch goal, is I may offer some foil covers and things like that. But right now we're sticking with a, you know, card glossy cover for the physical copy. So.
And what's this last one?
All right. Well, I got to give a shout out to my peeps here. So this is the 94 BloodWorld pack. As you can see, it's $94. And this is all a shout out to my crew. You know, I graduated from West Point class of 94. And they've been supportive behind the scenes. In fact, 2 of my classmates gave me startup money for BloodWorld. You know, I'm not saying they invested. I'm saying they gave me startup money for BloodWorld or for Raincross. You know, and it's just you know, my brothers and sisters in arms. And this is kind of my shout back to them. And so there's 94 of these packs available right now. And what we're offering with this is you get the full featured writers tier. So you get the digital, you get the 10 comic books, you get that. You get a physical copy of the book. You get a canvas print. You get the sticker pack. And if you zoom, well, I can show you in a little bit. There's also a special Blood Wraith 94th Legion patch, like a military style patch that you get to go with this as well. So the 94th Blood Wraith Legion has a special military patch, and so there will only be a limited edition of those made, and those will be for people who buy this as well. So you can't get it any other way except for buying the 94 Blood Wraith pack. So that is our featured tier right now, our high level tier. There's some other tiers we have available. One of them are going to be a variant cover tier. So once we reach a certain goal, we have another artist that we're going to come on. Who is going to do a cover for us. And I'm going to let Jeff talk about that. But once we're funded, one of our stretch goals is going to be this artist doing a cover for us. So if you want to talk about that a little, Jeff.
Yes, I've had the privilege of being an online friend for a few years, back when his career was really starting to take off, of a particular Australian artist who got to experience fame and fortune working for Todd McFarlane. You might know him as the fellow who drew a little book called 30 Days of Night way back in the day, one Ben Templesmith, and he has been gracious enough to agree to a commission cover for us. So, when we get there with the funding, I'm going to reach out to Ben and say, like, hey, man, turn it on. Let's see it. And he's just an amazing guy. He's always been a really sweet guy to deal with. I even interviewed him for Comic Crusaders once. So, like, if you don't know who Ben Templesmith is, go through our archives and check that out. But he's just a really phenomenal person, a really phenomenal storyteller and artist. And I'm very excited that he accepted our proposal to do a cover for us as an alternate cover.
And we also have a second cover that might be a reality as a stretch goal. And then I've had some talks with the man down below about contacting some other people, depending on how everything goes. So we may try and go crazy to get some other people in as well, but we're not going to share that because we don't Tom Holland stuff here until we know for sure.
All I can say is, like, the more you guys support us, the more we can give back to you, and it's some really exciting stuff. So please support us, so we can.
But that's what's
give
the
you
key
just
here.
all the best goodies.
And
that's why I respect this campaign, because you guys actually do want to give back to the community. It's not just about the project, but about the fans.
And one of the examples of things that you can add on here. So this is a print that we have available of the cover, and this is on metal, and very nicely done on the back, for you to be able to hang.
Okay, look at that.
And these are available as add-ons. So when you buy a tier, or if you make a donation, that's available as well. One of the add-ons you can add. We're selling these for $65. So, it's a nice size. I believe it's 18 by 24. And once again, I'm going to be perfectly honest here. I've gone to conventions where I've seen this size metal print sell for $120. And it's like, thank you,
LA.
Thank you, Lori. But I've seen these things sell at conventions for $120, and people buy them. But it's like, I know what we're paying for them, and that's just between me and our supplier. But and we're in the business of making some money. But I know times are hard out there, and I know we're a community, and I want people to be involved. So, to me, and I talked about this with my team, and I talked about it with my wife. I thought this was a fair price for everybody, to go ahead and purchase that. So that's why we're offering it at 65, and so, I mean, and that kind of sums up what we're all about. We're not about, we don't want to not do well in business, but we want to be in tandem with our fans, in tandem with our readers, and give you value for your money, because we want you to support us. And in turn, we want to support you. So, I mean, that is what we're all about, because we're all in this together. We're fandom. So,
yeah, seeing Brady's face, that scared the hell out of me before too.
I've got a smaller version of that here at the house, and I tell you, seeing it on screen is nothing. You can't compare it. It's like seeing this thing up close and in person. And I've even got an image of the fell hand splash page there, and the quality of the printing is so incredible. I was telling them here how impressed I was that the you used to have to change from doing RBG to CMYK, and the print quality, like the colors are so vibrant, like none of the colors seem to be out of gamut. So I don't know what kind of voodoo they're doing on printing these days, but it looks like it popped right off my screen, and it's on this piece of metal now, and it's just a thing of glorious beauty.
Yeah, and I have to say, if you go back to the campaign screen, if you click on the tiers, or you don't have to do it, but I could tell you that if you clicked on one of the tiers like you were going to buy it, you'd see all the add-ons. So we've got several add-ons for people to select if they want. We've got the metal print add-on. We've got the campaign or the canvas add-on. So we're offering the same prints in canvas, but those are $45. And then we're offering pint glasses for sale. So working for a British company has rubbed off on me, so I had to offer pint glasses. We are also offering our sticker pack for sale, and I think we're offering posters as well. So posters are for sale as well. So we got all that going on. And then I will say I've got some future ideas, for stretch goals, that will add some other stuff for sale, and one of them might be that 94th Blood Red patch. But right now we're saving that. But if that sells out, I will make further patches available if someone just wants to buy the patch, because I do want to make the 9 to 94 exclusive to 94 people. So 94 packs for that. But if that sells out somehow, first thing I'm going to do is pop some champagne and start drinking. And then the second thing I do is probably make the patches available for general sale as well.
Yeah, because like I've been
really, you want to pop champagne? Then maybe we should this one. Oh shit.
Nice. That it's a Dom, man.
Because like you hit us up, we've been floating ideas like campaign only art to be included in the pack. So like really one of a kind stuff that'll only be available through the campaign. I've floated the ideas like, hey, somebody want to have a tier where we can like draw you into the comic. Like I can make that happen, man. I got the power right here in my hands.
Hey, look at that, yo. He-Man ain't got shit on Bracey. That's what I'll tell you.
So we got to walk before we run, but this is the first step. So we are taking the first step right here, and we hope that you all go out there and sign up and support us. And much love to everybody. And I know in my heart that when you get this book in your hand or on your digital device, that you're gonna love it. And there's some pretty crazy stuff out there, in this book.
Yep, show the love, folks. Show the love to independent. Mm-hmm.
I could tell you right now that the very first page of the book is from a story that I wrote called Family, and it takes place in the Ganymede monarchy, and it shows a guy named Baron Dominic Chabot, and he's in a suit of 12-foot high battle armor, and he's impaling another noble while in the middle of a battlefield on the fields of Ganymede, and that's how the book starts. So.
I love this particular character because he's so egotistical. Like everybody's got their big mech armor, and you feel like they're all like stormtroopers. They're all kind of samey, but no, not this guy. He has a hologram of his head screaming at you as he cleaves you and your armor in two. He wants you to know who's doing you in.
And he is the Queen's cousin. So, and so that really is where you get the Game of Thrones meets, Dune aspect there. And there's a lot going to go on with them. And so it's a lot of fun. And I think you'll really enjoy it. And if you're a fan of science fiction or just comics, I think there's something for everybody in this comic, and you'll really love it. And eventually these titles will spawn other titles, and that really is our vision for this comic, because just like 2000 AD was a launching point for so many great careers, and things like Judge Dredd, popped right out of 2000 AD and became their own titles, basically. That's the vision I have for this, so if, when Fellhand blows up, Fellhand may end up becoming our Conan the Barbarian with his own title, and somebody else will come in and they'll write another story for BloodWorld, which would be great. So
let's make it manifest, folks. And it is live now. I repeat, it is live now. So make it rain. Look for BloodWorld on IndieGoGo right now.
For you, Al, since you're the big Hellraiser fan, to quote Pinhead, we have so many sights to show you.
Yes, exactly.
Ooh, that's right, folks.
I'm really excited, and I know this is going to take a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. It's already taken a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to get here, and it's going to take more to get it over the finish line. But I'm really confident that we could do it, and that that everybody will get behind us, and we're not going to quit. This is a passion project. And no matter what happens, this will become a reality. So, and I know we're going to do this. So one way or the other, BloodWorld will arrive. So.
Hell yeah. Well, it will arrive. It has arrived, and folks are gonna make it rain on this baby. Make it easy for you folks. So you can visit the website at raincrosspress.com. You get info on this project, all the other projects, merch, all that good stuff that they got going. You know, if you want to stay posted, because they're very busy on those, promo, and they tease stuff. So if you're into all that kind of stuff, if you like to Tom Holland yourselves and get teased and kind of spoilers, so follow them on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Raincross Press, or one word, no underscores on that, right? But most importantly, it went live during this program. They hit that go button on the IndieGoGo, and it's live for BloodWorld 1. So to love. You got great tears and things that would only get bigger and better the more you make it rain on these fellas, all right? They won't dance on the pole for you, even though you make it rain, but they'll give you something sexy at the end. Don't you worry.
We're bringing sexy back.
I'm digging it. Hell yeah. Hey, for the let's do it. All right, fellas, it's been amazing. I am so happy and proud of both of you as fellow Crusaders to see your team, coming to fruition as such and working on these amazing projects. Me just being in raw awe of your talent, for real. So just I feel like a daddy, proud of my kids here, keep on going, you keep on going, you keep on going. You know how I tell ya, you never stop. There ain't no such thing as no. All right?
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, indeed.
All right? And that goes for y'all too that are listening and watching. If you have a dream or passion, make it happen. Ain't nobody stopping you but you. All right?
Absolutely.
So do it. No excuses.
Absolutely.
Like thank you, says. Just do it. And with that, just give it a big whip, all right? Thank you for tuning in to Comic Crusaders special with myself, Bracey, and Miss Nemesis. Hasta la próxima, my people. Much love. ¡Wepa! ¡Woo!